tama.
Ang tunay na pangalan ng mga tao, lugar at organisasyon sa liham na tampok sa palabas na ito ay pinilitan at pinago. Ang anumang pagkakahawig ng mga bagong pangalan sa aktwal na tao, lugar o organisasyon ay hindi sinasadya at nagkataon lamang.
Magandang araw mga consumer. Sabi nila, biyaya ang bawat taon sa buhay ng tao. Habang tumatanda, mas natututo at mas nagiging matatag tayo sa mga hamon ng buhay. Kasama ng kanilang edad, ang karunungan at kakayahan na nililang ng panahon. Kaya naman, pinapahalagahan ng gobyerno ang mga senior citizen. Bilang pagtanaw sa kanilang kontribusyon, sila ay may mga pribilehiyong itinakda ng batas. Ano nga ba ang mga pribilehiyo para sa kanila? Ngayong araw, babasahin natin ang liham ng consumer na si Ginang Collado para sagutin ang kanyang tanong. Dear Consumer Care, ako po ay isang senior citizen. Ilang taon na rin po simula nung ako ay nag-retire. May mga anak po ako pero may mga sariling pamilya kaya naman ayaw kong maging alalahanin sa kanila. Kaya naman malaking tulong po sa akin ang mga senior citizen discount na nakukuha ko. Kaso nga lang po, nalilito ako sa tuwing ako ay bibili gamit ang aking senior citizen card. Minsan 5% ang bawas nito at kung minsan naman ay 20%. Ano ba ang pagkakaiba nito? At para sagutin ang tanong ni Ginang Collado, kasama natin ngayon si Ms. Shirley Vasquez ng Consumer Policy Division ng Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau. Magandang araw po, Ms. Shirley.
Magandang araw din, Dens, at sa ating mga consumers na patuloy na tumatangkilik sa ating programa.
Ms. Shirley, bago po natin sagutin ang tanong ni Ginang Collado, maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag muna kung ano po ba itong batas tungkol sa senior citizen?
Ito ay ang Republic Act 7432 na mas lalo pang pinalawig na Republic Act No. 9994. Hinihikayat na Republic Act No. 7432 o an act to maximize the contribution of senior citizens to nation building, grant benefits and special privileges and for other purposes. Ang ating mga senior citizen na mag-ambag ng kanilang kasanayan sa komunidad. Dahil din sa batas na ito, nagkaroon ng bawat lungsod at munisipalidad ng Office of Senior Citizen Affairs o OSCA. Ang Republic Act 9994 o Expanded Senior Citizens Act of 2010 naman ay nagbigay ng dagdag benepisyo at pribilehiyo, layunin ng pamahalaan na itaguyod ang kapakanan ng bawat mamamayan, maging ang mga senior citizen.
Dumako po tayo sa tanong ni Ginang Collado. Bakit po minsan daw ay 20% at minsan naman ay 5% ang nakukuha niyang discount? Magkano po ba talaga ang tamang discount?
Parehong tama ang 20% at 5% discount. Iba ang mga serbisyo at produkto ang covered ng 20% discount kaysa sa doon sa covered ng 5% discount. Ang mga nakatatanda ay may karapatan na mabigyan ng 20% discount at VAT exemption sa mga sumusunod na produkto at serbisyo ayon sa RA 9994. Una, gamot at iba pang medical supplies na inireseta ng doktor. Pangalawa, influenza at pneumococcal vaccines at iba pang mga kailangang kasangkapan pang-medical na nakapaloob sa guidelines ng Department of Health o ng DOH. Pangatlo, serbisyo ng mga doktor, pampubliko man, pampribado, pasilidad na gagamitin maging sa mga klinika na outpatient at mga serbisyong ginagawa sa labas ng paggamutan. Pang-apat, pamasahe sa iba't ibang uri ng sasakyang panghimpapawid o pandagat o shipping vessels at iba pang kahalintulad gaya ng bus, jeep at mga public railways. Panglima, serbisyo sa hotel, lodging establishment, kainan at recreation center. Pang-anim, panonood sa sine, teatro, hall at iba pang libangan o pasyalan. At pang-pito, funeral at burial services.
Marami po pala. Ano naman po itong 5% special discount?
Ang covered naman sa 5% special discount ay yung mga basic necessities at prime commodities na nakalista sa Joint DTI, DA, DOE Administrative Order No. 17-02 Series of 2017. Kabilang sa mga pangunahing bilihin na may 5% discount ay bigas, tinapay, itlog, gatas, kape, asukal, asin, toyo, suka, sabon, kandila at iba pang nakasaad sa Section 1 ng nasabing JAW. May weekly cap din ito na 1,300 piso. Ibig sabihin, kung sa loob ng isang linggo ay lumagpas sa 1,300 ang nabili ng senior citizen, ang susunod na bibilhin pa ay hindi na maaaring mabigyan ng 5% discount. Subalit kung kulang naman sa 1,300 ang napamili, ang nasabing kulang ay hindi pwedeng idagdag sa susunod na linggo upang makabili pa ng higit sa 1,300.
Para mabigyan ng discount, ano po ang mga dapat ipakita sa mga establishmento?
Para maka-avail ng discount, dapat ipakita ng mga senior citizen o authorized representative ng kanilang senior citizen ID o anumang government-issued ID na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang senior citizen. Kailangan ding ipakita ang senior citizen booklet, luma man o bago, para maitala ng kahera o ng establishmento ang mga binili o inabil na services.
Saan naman po maaaring mag-report o magreklamo kung hindi nabigyan ng deskwento ang mga senior citizen?
Maaaring i-report ng senior citizen ang tindahan o business establishment sa pinakamalapit na Office of Senior Citizens Affairs o OSCA. Ipakita lamang ang proof of purchase, pangalan o lugar ng establishmento at iba pang dokumento na nagkapatunay ng bentahan.
Paano po sa online transactions? Pwede rin po bang magamit ang mga senior citizen discount?
Oo, Dens. Ang batas natin sa online at offline transactions ay pareho lamang. Sa katunayan, naglabas ng Joint Memorandum Circular ang Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD, National Commission of Senior Citizens o NCSC, National Council for Disability Affairs o NCDA, Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG, Department of Health or DOH, Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR at DTI ukol dito.
Kaya naman sa ating mga consumer na senior citizens, tandaan, karapatan mo ang isang desente at marangal na pamumuhay, tulong pangkalusugan at pangunahing pangangailangan. Maraming salamat, Ms. Shirley.
Maraming salamat, Dens.
At yan ang kabuuan ng ating programa sa araw na ito. Paalala lamang po ng impormasyon na aming naibigay ay base lamang sa aming natanggap na salaysay at mga pangyayari na inilahad ni Ginang Collado. Abangan muli ang Dear Consumer Care sa susunod na linggo. Para sa updates, please like, follow, subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. That's DTI Consumer Care and DTI Philippines. Isa lamang ang mga discount na ito para maipakita ang ating pasasalamat at pagpapahalaga sa mga senior citizen na nagserbisyo at naglingkod sa lipunan. Hanggang sa muli, paalam, ito po si Denzel Bonal na nagsasabing, wais ang consumer na may alam.
Happy Tuesday po to all our participants, sa mga nakatutok po sa atin dito sa Zoom, and to everyone joining
Recording in
us live
progress.
via DTI Consumer Care Facebook and DTI Philippines YouTube. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. You can still invite your friends po and colleagues to join this webinar. Para po sa ating bagong participants, ang DTI Consumer Care Webinar Series ay inulunsad ng DTI Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau upang makapagbigay ng kaalaman tungkol sa mga napapanahong topics na makakatulong sa atin para tayo ay maging wais, mapanuri at malayang mamimili. Ako po si Mean De Leon from the Consumer Policy and Advocacy Bureau and I will be your moderator for today's webinar. Para po sa ating 255th webinar session this morning, ang topic po natin ay Ecolabelling and Greenwashing. Pero bago po tayo magsimula, we would like to give some reminders. Unang-una, ang ating webinar session po ay recorded. By continuing your participation in the meeting, you're also consenting that you may be recorded. We are encouraging you to stay at samahan niyo po kami hanggang matapos at sabay-sabay tayong matuto sa topic natin ngayong umaga. Ang mga sumusunod na reminders ay para masiguro na smooth ang ating webinar session. Pakipalitan po ang format ng inyong pangalan, maaaring consumer, space, full name, o di po kaya ay pangalan ng company, then your complete name. Kung masyadong mahaba naman po ang pangalan ng company, kahit acronym na lamang po ang inyong gamitin. Please turn off your mic during the webinar session unless you are requested by the moderator to speak. Para po sa mga tanong, we are encouraging everyone to click the raise hand button to directly address the speaker during the question and answer portion. Or you may send in your questions through the chat box. Panghuli, para po sa mga naka-touch screen device, please avoid drawing or making annotations on the screen para hindi po ma-distract ang ating speaker at iba pang participant. Without further ado, let us begin this webinar session by singing the Philippine National Anthem to be followed by the invocation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Tayang magiliw, dalas na sinangalan, alam ng puso, sa lilig mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa dagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng pangkaw, ay hinanang tulakaw, sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iibig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magiging, lupa ng araw ng walhabing pansin ka, mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na barkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing as we are gathered together in this webinar. May your blessings of wisdom and guidance be upon us all through the sharing and impartation of knowledge and skills by our resource speakers, facilitators, and moderators. Bless also the participants so that they would be able to glean the information from this activity and share what we have learned in the spirit of your generosity. Lord, we bring you our prayers, our commitment, our gifts to you this day. Let us who have a keen dedication and awareness of your creation have courage and conviction that we are able to contribute to the sustainability of the earth. Inspire us as we make choices so that we will recognize the impact our lives have on our environment and our human family around the globe. Pour out your blessing upon us today, Lord. May each of our actions reveal our awareness that we are partners with you in the creation and sustainability of this earth that you have given to us to appreciate and enjoy. We ask this in the name of your Son. Amen.
Good morning po ulit sa ating more than 100 participants. Before we proceed with our session, we would like to invite po everyone to subscribe to our DTI 1384 SMS upang makatanggap ng important reminders and updates mula sa DTI Consumer Protection Group for free. I-scan lang po ang QR code na nakalagay sa inyong mga screen. Again, this service is free of charge. Tulad po ng nabanggit kanina, our topic this morning is Ecolabelling and Greenwashing. Ecolabelling is a helpful tool that provides consumers with information to assist them in choosing products that have less impact on the environment. However, some businesses take advantage of this demand for sustainable products through greenwashing or the practice of making dishonest claims. On behalf po of our OIC Director, Attorney Cheryl Carbonell, we are delighted to have you join us this morning to another insightful and engaging learning session. This morning po, we are fortunate to have with us our very capable speaker to further discuss ecolabelling and greenwashing. Let us all welcome po the Program Officer of Green Choice Philippines from the Philippine Center for Environmental Protection and Sustainable Development Incorporated, or PCEPSDI, Ms. Brenda Hazel Botardo. Good morning po, Ms. Brenda. The floor is now yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Mean, for that introduction. And good morning po sa mga nakikinig dito sa ating in our
Ms. Brenda? Ms. Brenda, can you hear me po?
FB Live. Okay, so let's start this. Yes.
Ma'am, may we request na lang po kaya for your video po to turn off po just to save bandwidth, ma'am?
Okay po.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Opo, we can proceed na po.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, again, good morning everyone. So nakita nyo naman ako kanina, but we decided to turn off the video to save the bandwidth. And so I hope everyone had your breakfast na po, no? And para tuloy-tuloy listening and listening to our session today. So let me share my screen first po, no? Okay. So again, we are the National Ecolabelling Program Green Choice Philippines, and the administrator of this program is the Philippine Center for Environmental Protection and Sustainable Development. And most people I've encountered with during seminars, conferences, and even during awareness sessions like this one, they ask me, how does you address greenwashing? So that is the question na sasagutin po natin ngayong webinar series na ito. So how do eco-labels address greenwashing? So let's redefine it first, greenwashing. Kung maaaring ilan sa inyo ay narinig na ang salitang ito or na-encounter nyo na ang salitang ito. So greenwashing, it is an act of misleading consumers regarding the environmental practices of a company or the environmental benefits of impormasyon na pinoprovide sa atin ng mga company or mga produkto kung saan it misleads us, it misleads consumers. So pwedeng sinasabi nila na ang produkto nila ay makakatulong sa kalikasan, pero ang totoo, behind the process is hindi pala. Hindi pala siya nakakatulong, mas nakakasira pala siya. So that is greenwashing. I'll give you a short or quick example regarding greenwashing. Let's say, nautusan ako ng magulang ko na pumuntang grocery store para hanapin tong isang produkto. And as an environmentalist, or I have a thinking na kailangan ang piliin ko ay yung product with green packaging. Well, obviously, it's green. So, dahil dun sa packaging na green, may tendency po tayo na, sige, bilhin ko kasi green naman ito, probably makakatulong ako sa environment. Without thinking or without knowing na baka nami-mislead na pala ako ng produktong ito, baka hindi naman talaga nakakatulong. Nakakatulong, it's just because it's green, this packaging is green, I have to buy it. So it's we are being greenwashed or nami-mislead na pala tayo ng producers or ng mga companies na ito. So to further understand greenwashing, I will provide you the 7 sins of greenwashing for us to identify ano-ano ba yung mga nai-encounter ko na terms o mga sins or mga actions ng producers na hindi ko alam na nag-greenwash na pala ako. So as consumers, we have that responsibility to identify, to do our job as well, to know right things para po maintindihan natin yung mga examples and ano ang ginagawa nito sa atin. So these are the misleading environmental claims. Let's start with sin of the hidden trade-off. When we say hidden trade-off, it is a sin focusing on 1 or 2 environmental facts but ignoring other significantly more important facts is totoo at makakabuti, pero on the other hand, nane-neglect ko yung other negative impacts. Kumbaga, bigyan ko kayo ng example. Halimbawa, isa akong producer na nagpo-produce ng papel. And ang gamit ko, paper. So it's a good point. It's a best practice to use recycled paper. But on the other hand, to make it whiter and brighter, I will use toxic substances like chlorine. If we weigh those practices, the other one is good, but the other one is not so good. It emits toxic emissions. So yun po yung isang pwede nating tingnan when we look at the specific product. So we do our research here as well sa mga produktong bibilhin natin. The next, proof. When we say no proof, walang ebidensya. So parang naniniwala tayo na, or sinasabi sa atin ng mga company na maniwala lang kayo. Okay. Kagaya sa mga batas. Paano natin masasabing tama ang mga ebidensya yan? So kagaya ng environmental sabihin ng isang kumpanya, hindi lang binanggit mo yung salitang ito, ay ibig sabihin totoo yun at environment friendly yun. So kailangan natin ng proof. And the next one na naka-align dito is sin of vagueness. So let me show you some of the vague claims or the environmental claims or euphemistic phrases that may mislead consumers. So we have here CFC-free, non-polluting, non-toxic, and others. Many vague claims are relevant or the companies are using. So in order for us to identify which is non-toxic, which is compostable, which is earth-friendly, there should be a proof. So that we are informed na, kaya pala siya non-toxic, kaya pala siya environment-friendly. So if ever there is no proof provided by the companies, say, sinabi ko lang, it's energy saver. Pero how? Paano nasabi ng kumpanya or ng produktong ito na kaya niyang mag-save ng ganito? So kakailanganin natin ng proof. And if wala nga, we have to be aware of these environmental claims. So we do our part as a consumers to look into several products that we often buy to know, tama bang bilhin ko ito? Tama bang makakatulong ito sa environment? Or nakakatulong pala akong makasira ng environment. And next, so it's through words or images gives the impression of. So common po ito sa mga certification body. One great example, siguro po marami sa atin ay mahilig bumili ng mga skincare products, no? Pero ang hindi natin napapansin ay, or ang madalas nating consideration when we buy skincare products, since it's all about the beauty, is kung may FDA approval ba ito. So madami tayong nakikita minsan sa mga TikToks na FDA approved ba ito? Tapos meron tayong mga makikita na produkto na magandang gamitin pero FDA approved, pero upon checking the website, hindi pala naman siya FDA approved. So napakahalaga po ng pagre-research, napakahalaga po ng magkaroon ka ng impormasyon tungkol sa mga bagay na ito. So that's one great example, and same din siya sa environmental claims. For sin of irrelevance naman po, it's factually correct but irrelevant, like for environmental assessments. Like for example, may nagsabing produkto na their product is CFC free. Right. It's factually correct that it's CFC free. But is it already banned in the country? Automatic. So CFC matagal na siyang na-ban dito sa country natin. So parang additional na lang, it's already banned. So that's one great example. Okay. So, and also, last two of our sins of greenwashing, is the sin of lesser of two product in its class, but still an inappropriate choice. Why? For example, cigarettes. So we have this conventional cigarette na itong organic cigarette natin is the most inappropriate choice. Dahil cigarettes, we all know how it affects our health as well. So hindi lang natin tinitingnan is yung environmental aspect, no? So we also look into the safety of the user. So dapat ang consumer available sa kanila yung mga products na safe at of quality. And last is the sin of thieving. So kagaya din po siya nung sin of worshipping labels na misleading the customers about the actual environmental performance of their products. Ibig sabihin, meron akong kiniklaim, pero hindi pala naman yun ang totoo. When we look at the process, hindi pala yun yung actual environmental performance. Maaaring sila lang yung may alam at walang ibang nakakaalam. So tayong mga consumers, paano natin malalaman? So ngayon, dito sa 7 environmental claims, 7 greenwashing, 7 sins of greenwashing, nakikita nyo yung mga examples na, baka previously na-greenwash na pala ako. Nakakita ako ng term na ganito, pero
Miss Brenda?
wala namang proof na na-proof. Yes?
Medyo choppy po yung audio.
Hello po.
Yan, apo. Medyo nawawala-wala lang po.
Sige po. Inform nyo na lang po ako, ma'am.
Alright, thank you po.
Kung nawawala-wala.
Sige po.
Okay. Okay, let's go back. Apologies for that kung may mga hindi na-mention. But with this it's very important information for us when we go to a grocery store or kung kailangan may bilhin tayo, makakatulong ito kung ano yung pipiliin nating produkto. So ngayon, hindi na lang buy a environmentally friendly product or avail eco-friendly or environmentally preferable service. So we don't just talk about the quality, the safety, but now we will talk on the environmental aspect as well. Okay? And so, ano bang ginagawa ng greenwashing sa atin? Bang effect nito? Para saan ba ito? So, the major cause of the continued use, okay, for a while lang po, since I'll try to connect.
Miss Brenda?
Yes po.
Ma'am, ano po, medyo choppy pa rin po. Would you like us po to take a quick break na lang po while baka po may mahanap tayong alternatives na signal device po na may mas mabilis or mas malakas po na signal?
Sige. Naglipat na po ako ng another alternative.
Ay, okay.
May kung mas clearer na po ngayon.
Sige ma'am. We'll inform you na lang po ma'am kung sakaling magkakaroon pa rin po ng technical difficulty.
Okay po. Pero ngayon po, clear naman na po.
Ayan ma'am, mas clear po. Opo.
Ayan, okay po. So I hope dire-diretso na to.
Opo, thank you po.
Okay po. So, apologies for that difficulty. May internet instability lang po siguro dito sa office. But at any rate, it doesn't stop us in our session today. So again, para saan ba itong greenwashing? Sinasabi ko, ano bang impacts nito? Meron ba itong impacts talaga sa environment o baka naman for the sake lang na ma-inform kami? No, actually, in one of the report in the United Nations Agenda 21, they said that the major cause of the continued deterioration of the global environment is the unsustainable pattern of production and consumption. When we say unsustainable, these are the patterns na hindi natin kayang i-sustain in the future. And even yung way of our consumption, we have our own consumption patterns, right? As consumers, meron tayong mga considerations na ginagawa when we choose products. But we don't know na it's unsustainable pala. Or we are greenwashed. We are greenwashed. So that's a form of unsustainable pattern of production and consumption. So, ayan. So, ito pala yung epekto ng unsustainable consumption and production. And also, if we are being greenwashed every now and then, so ito pala yung possible impacts na nangyayari na sa atin ngayon. So, we have the climate change, biodiversity loss, and even pollution. So let's start with climate change. Bakit? So, dahil tayo naman ay bilang consumer, hindi naman natin alam saan ba nanggagaling ang mga electricity natin, saan nanggagaling ang mga utilities natin. So, number one is our electricity po, no? And kung saan ba nanggagaling itong mga produkto na binibili natin. So, one is, of course, there are companies talaga and na nagpo-produce ng electricity through the use of coal or fossil fuels or natural resources. But we don't know that it somehow affects our climate. And pansin natin siguro ngayon yung grabing pag-init ng panahon o kaya grabing pag-ulan, pag tag-ulan. So it's a form na ng climate change. And through this climate, through burning of fossil fuels, it warms the earth. And because there are changes in the climate na hindi siya yung natural phenomenon na nangyayari, it will lead to catastrophic events. So for catastrophic events, these are some of the socio-environmental impacts. Napapadalas yung pagbaha at tagtuyot, and even sa ibang bansa, wildfires. And with these impacts, it can threaten livelihood and it affects the food and economic security and nutritional issues. So meaning, naaapektuhan pala tayo. So, tao din naman yung gumawa, sino din ang naaapektuhan? So, tayo din. So, who are mostly affected? First is the farmers. Ang magigiting nating mga magsasaka na nag-harvest, nagtatanim ng mga kakainin natin. But because of climate change, because of heavy floods, and even droughts, naaapektuhan kung ano yung i-harvest nila, ano yung aanihin nila. And even our livestock animals, naaapektuhan because they commonly rely on products or on natural resources like plants para may nutrition silang makuha. And also industrial plants, since heavily reliant ang industrial plants sa natural resources, maaapektuhan din. And eventually, since majority of the industrial plants, they produce food, yung mga canned goods natin na madalas nating makikita sa market, mga pang-araw-araw nating ginagamit, maaapektuhan din tayo. So it's human to human. So kung sino man ang may gumawa ng mga production patterns na patuloy nating ginagawa. So ang balik din nun is sa tao. Next is biodiversity loss. Dahil nga unsustainable consumption and production, we often think na baka yung pinanggagalingan ng produkto ko ay hindi pala, let's say yung papel ko, through illegal logging pala. And baka yung mga nabibili kong mga canned fish, canned goods, galing pala sa overfishing action. So because of this, ang impact niya is, of course, unsustainable consumption and production, but there is also loss of wildlife habitat. Imagine, sa pagpuputol ng puno, ang daming species ang pwedeng mawalan ng habitat. Same with overfishing. Imagine if it's overfishing and then naaapektuhan na niya mga coral reefs na lugar kung saan it's a habitat for most of the fishes, mawawala din yun. So that's another impact. And last is pollution. So when it comes to burning of fossil fuel, it will lead to air pollution. Hindi man natin pansin, but it's leading to air pollution. Imagine if you're in Manila area, in Metro Manila, and then nakita mo na hazy ang paligid. And parang ang daming usok. So we all know that it's air pollution and it will affect the human health. Next is overconsumption. Now that online shopping is really a practice today, instead of going to the grocery stores, and ang daming mga promos, ang daming vouchers, and then we saw na, ay mura lang. So we tend to overconsume products. Kahit hindi na natin ma-check kung ano mang contents nito, kung ano mang impact nito sa environment. Kumbaga wala na tayong research na ginagawa. We tend to hoard products para meron na tayong stock sa atin. But with this practice, it will lead to land pollution and marine litter. Why? Imagine when there's a delivery ng product na in-order natin online, there's a packaging over packaging. And the measure that we do to dispose those products is through landfilling. Sa landfill na pupunta yung mga products natin or mga packaging products. And minsan nga makikita natin it's a floating garbage in the ocean, in the bodies of water. So it will lead to land pollution, marine litter. Simpleng decision lang naman yung sasabihin ng consumer. Simpleng decision lang naman yung ginawa ko. Pero may impact na pala yun. Hindi ko alam na kailangan ko palang mas maintindihan yung environmental aspect ng produkto, na hindi lang ako nakatingin sa presyo, sa quality, but also ano ba, yun ang tanong, ano ba ang magiging impact nito sa kalikasan? Baka nakaka-contribute na ako sa land pollution at marine litter nang hindi natin nalalaman. Okay? And now the question is there something we can do about it? Good news is, yes, there is something we can do. Let's start with global initiatives bago natin puntahan kung ano yung magagawa ng isang consumers kagaya ko at kagaya nyo rin. So we have global initiatives. And this agenda, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, it is the most comprehensive blueprint to date for eliminating extreme poverty, reducing inequality, and protecting the planet. And the elements in the agenda focuses in these 5 cores. People, planet, prosperity, partnership, and peace. But in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we are into SDG 12, which is a responsible consumption and production. And in this agenda, there are targets and indicators na kailangan nating ma-achieve by 2030. So yung mga nabanggit ko kanina, those are some of the things na kailangan natin i-consider, kailangan malaman ng consumers in order to push the producers to produce or manufacture environmentally preferable products. So here are some of the practices or tools na pwede nating tingnan as a consumer, kung ikaw man ay bulk buyers or institutional consumer ikaw, ito yung pwede nating tingnan. So we have eco-labeling, life cycle assessment, eco-design, green productivity, green procurement, environmental management systems, sustainability reporting. So these tools and practices can help both the consumers and the producers on how they can attain a sustainable consumption and production and to be able to fight greenwashing. And for the local initiatives, so hindi lang naman yung mga nabanggit kanina, yun yung mga pwedeng gawin. Good thing we have environmental laws in the Philippines na pwedeng sundan. Let's say, ikaw, as a consumer, may plano kang magtayo ng isang business. It's really important to take note of these environmental laws. Kumbaga, magiging guide din ito sa inyo when you design your product, and even manufacture your product. So we have for the solid waste, paano ko ba properly mai-dispose ang magiging trashes or waste ko during the production. Clean Air Act, we have Clean Water Act, we have Toxic Substances and Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Control Act, Climate Change Act, Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act. So napakaraming resources na pinoprovide ng country when it comes to the environmental aspect. So ilan lang po ito, and napakadami pa dyan. DTI is there also when it comes to the quality on how to properly communicate ang mga produkto, ano bang contents nitong produktong ito. And DNR is there to oversee and to regulate these environmental laws as well. And good thing, with the help of National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA, they created this Philippine Action Plan for Sustainable Consumption and Production, or PAP for SCP. This action plan includes programmatic interventions, including circular economy approaches geared toward decoupling the country's economic growth from environmental degradation. So they are looking for plans, could be short-term, long-term, or medium-term, on how we can increase the economic growth by minimizing the environmental impact. So let me show you some of the action points na provide sa atin kung saan pwedeng makatulong ang eco-labeling program. So first is to strengthen the National Eco-Labeling Program and other green certification schemes to increase preference for green or sustainable products and services. And for policy and regulation is to streamline eco-labeling processes or systems. For promotion and education is to intensify the promotion of eco-labeling. And good thing we have this series wherein we will able to inform the consumers what is eco-labeling and ano ang maiitulong ng eco-labeling in fighting greenwashing. And through this promotion, we will be able to increase the private sector's uptake and influence the consumer preference. Right now, what we are doing is for you to understand ano yung mga practices na na-encounter ko na before, or mga scenario na na-encounter ko na before, na nag-greenwash pala ako, and what can I do about it? And another promotion in education is to develop an online directory for eco-labeled products. Okay. So before I go deeper with this eco-labeling, paano siya i-streamline, paano mai-inform ang public about this, I believe you have seen these labels. PS mark, of course, ICC mark. We have Energy Star for electronic equipment and electrical appliances. For food products, for our Muslim fellow, we have Halal, of course. For forest certification, we have FSC and PEFC. And these labels, they are serving a purpose. Hindi lang siya ginawa dahil just because for aesthetic purposes. No. Like for PS Mark, it ensures if you have a mark, if a product have a PS Mark, it ensures that the product is of quality and is safe. Same goes with forest certification. If nakakita kayo ng produkto na paper product na may FSC or PEFC, it just means na ang puno na pinanggalingan nun ay nasa isang sustainably managed forest. So ilan lang yan sa mga labels na nakikita na ninyo siguro madalas. And in the aspect of environment, the environmental labels, it aims to encourage the demand for and supply of those products and services through communication of verifiable and accurate information that is not misleading. So environmental labels are designed to help the consumers be informed properly and accurately on the environmental aspect of the products and services that cause less stress on the environment. So environmental labels are designed that way to really inform you, to really inform the consumers and even I about the environmental aspect of the products. So that is eco-labeling. It is the practice of putting a label to a product or service which identifies the overall environmental preference within the specific product or service category based on a life cycle considerations under ISO 14024. Madalas makikita natin ito sa mga produkto, maaaring sa likod ng packaging or sa harap, itong mga eco-labeling na ito. Not only Green Choice Philippines, there's a lot of environmental labels. As long as you've done the research to know ano-ano itong mga environmental labels na ito, mas madali sa ating maintindihan kung ano ang ini-inform na ganitong klaseng labels. So in the country, in the Philippines, good thing we have the National Eco-Labeling Program, Green Choice Philippines, wherein it's easy for us to inform the public about the overall environmental preference or paano ba nakakatulong ang logo na ito to the consumers. And for producers, kung may mga interested sa inyo as kahit consumers kayo but you're planning to look for products na makakatulong sa business nyo, it's good to look for this kind of labels. So these are voluntary third-party certification. So it doesn't rely on our own understanding about my product. It's about being verified by a specific certification body. And we look at the overall life cycle of the product. So hindi lamang doon tayo nakatingin sa isang aspect, kagaya kanina ng scene of hidden trade-off, na isang aspeto lang yung tinitingnan natin, but the other stages hindi na natin natitingnan. So that's a good point for Green Choice Philippines and other environmental labels. So what is the role of Green Choice Philippines? So for consumers, it's easy for you to have that transparent information by just seeing that label, that logo. And you will eventually identify na, it's verified na at reliable source yan. Undergo siya ng certification, itong product na ito, o kaya na-awardan sila kasi may naiitulong sila sa environment. Unlike conventional product, mas okay na ito ang bilhin ko, yung may logo na ganito. And for producers, we communicate whatever the results are. It could be passing or kung fail man, it could be their recommendations on how they can do it. How can they shift to more environmentally preferable product? And for consumers like us, mapa-institutional man or general, it could be your shopping guide. When you go to a grocery store or kung saan mang shopping marts, makakatulong yung pagtingin sa mga logos ng produkto or ng services. And kayo din makakatulong to meet the sustainability targets on SDG 12, which is the responsible consumption and production. And at some point, because of this information, because of this label, you can use the product or service by facilitating the other R's. Could be reuse, o parang binibigyan kayo ng information ng produktong ito on how you can properly dispose your product. Let's say biodegradable, and then I saw in one packaging that it's biodegradable. So automatically, my thinking is that if I'm going to throw it in a trash can, I'll look for a bin na may nakalagay na biodegradable kasi dun dapat. At kumbaga, domino effect na ito, once you see that logo, you know when to reuse it, when to reduce it. So those are benefits of this Green Choice Philippines. And here are some of the GCP awarded products or services that are active as of March 2024. I believe you are familiar of some of these products. We have fiber cement board, this one, floor and wall ceramic tiles, and tissue products like Fresh, Harmony. We also have laundry detergents, Surf Powder and Surf Bar. We have Eco Hygiene as well for tissue products, packaging products, and also food service establishments. And if ever you visit Tagaytay or Tagaytay or Batangas and even Cebu, you look for these restaurants because they are assessed and verified by Green Choice Philippines, and they were able to attain that certification. And if you're planning to know more about the products na meron pa or na-awardan, you can visit the website PCEPSDI.org.ph. And bakit mahalaga na i-inform ito sa inyo, sa mga consumers? Because we have the power. We often think na, ay, isa lang naman akong bumibili ng ganitong produkto. Ano bang may itulong ko? Ano bang magiging impact? Kasi ako lang naman, iisa lang naman ako gumagawa nito. But if it's a collective action by all the consumers, we can drive the production of environmentally preferable products. Imagine if we purchase more and more environmentally products, the higher level it is, the higher level the production will be. So we have the power to influence the producers as well. Pag nalaman nila na, may market demand naman na pala for environmentally preferable products. Now, I think we have to revise our strategy. We have to transition to a more sustainable products or green products. So see, there could be, if we have a collective action, there could be a change in the production patterns in the country. But I have to tell you the reality right now, and it's a chicken and egg problem. Habang walang ginagawa din si consumer or they don't know about products, green products, sustainable products, they won't invest. Kasi wala naman silang nakikitang market demand. So bakit naman, ano namang disadvantage for consumers? Hindi rin naman ako makakabili kasi wala namang maraming options. Iilan pa lang naman yung environmentally preferable products. So, paulit-ulit siyang cycle. That's why we call it chicken and egg problem. So, the goal here is to meet halfway. Para magkaroon ng balance between the consumer's preference to the suppliers or the producer's strategy in producing their products. So if ever, tanggalin natin yung don't. Supplier will invest because the consumer knows, or the consumer will buy because the producers invest. So imagine if we all are aware of this scenario, we are helping the future, the sustainable future in the country. And kung dati, ang dahilan ng pagbili natin ng produkto or pag-avail natin ng service is dahil sa presyo, dahil kailangan ko, dahil maaaring ito ay subok na, maaaring gusto ko, or dahil trending, o kaya in-endorse ko ng paborito kong artista, kung dati ito lang yung rason or considerations natin when we buy products, ngayon, we have another option to look into when it comes to environmental labels. So there's a lot of environmental labels, mapa Pilipinas man o mapa ibang bansa, makikita natin itong mga labels na to. Because these labels ensure a verified information and reliable source of the overall environmental aspect of the product. So hindi lang po si Green Choice Philippines pala, marami pala na pwedeng ini-import natin o kaya ine-export natin sa ibang bansa. And according to GEN, the Global Ecolabelling Network, there are 37 Type 1 Ecolabelling members across 60 countries. So madami pala tayong pwedeng tingnan, hindi lang pala si Green Choice Philippines. But in the country, Green Choice Philippines is the only Type 1 eco-label. So the next time you go to a marketplace, you check the label. Be informed and be a responsible consumer. Again, this is not only for Green Choice Philippines, but other environmental labels out there because they are designed to not mislead the consumers. May assurance kayo na they undergo a certain procedures to know its environmental aspect. Na hindi lang siya basta logo, may nire-represent din pala siyang purpose. And that purpose is to really fight greenwashing. And that is how eco-labels help consumers address greenwashing. And kung ever na greenwash kayo, it's now the time to tell it to your friends, to tell it to your colleagues na meron naman pala tayong option, pwede naman pala tayong tingnan para maiwasan natin ang mga ganitong klaseng produkto. Okay? And actually, that's it. And if ever you want to see our Facebook page, you can scan the QR code because we will update or we will post updates on the Green Choice Philippines, who are the awarded products, what are the criteria available. So if you have the means, kindly scan this QR code to like and follow, and we'll provide various updates on Green Choice Philippines. And now I'm open to any questions. Now I'm giving back the floor to the moderator to assist in the question and answer portion.
All right. Thank you po, Ms. Brenda, for your very insightful presentation. Tulad ng nasabi ni Ms. Brenda kanina, it's really important for us consumers to exercise our consumer right to information and be given the facts needed to make informed choices. No? And it is also important for us to be reminded of our responsibility to be more alert and questioning about the goods and services that we use, no, and our responsibility to understand the environmental consequences of our consumption. Good morning po ulit sa ating participants dito sa Zoom and to everyone joining us via DTI Consumer Care Facebook and DTI Philippines YouTube. Let's now proceed po with our question and answer portion. Short reminder lang po sa ating participants to stay muted unless you are addressing the speaker and or moderator directly. Please be informed po na makakapag-download po kayo ng copy ng presentation material after you accomplish the client satisfaction form that will be posted in the chat box section. Para po mas maging interactive po ang ating question and answer portion, we encourage everyone po to click the raise hand button So we can call you to ask directly to our speaker. Pwede rin pong i-send ang inyong question sa chat box. Alright, baka po may gustong mag-raise po ng hand. In the meantime, let's proceed po to our questions na pinadala po kanina. Ms. Brenda, ito po bang National Ecolabelling Program, ito po ba ay para sa packaging o para po sa mismong produkto? Yung sa standards po, siguro yun na diniscuss niyo po kanina.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Maan. So right now, we have 43 product or service category. So hindi lang tayo nakafocus sa packaging products. But it's easy for me to give example kasi mas madaling ma-visualize yung logo imprinted. But there are products, let's say yung kanina yung ceramic tiles. It's an awarded product, a GCP awarded product, but it's optional to put it in their tiles or sa packaging man nila. But at least we inform them na it's certified kahit hindi siya imprinted dun sa product.
Thank you po, Ms. Brenda. Next question po natin, this is from John Coral Panoso. Hi, what is the process and requirement to obtain green product certification or seal? Ms. Brenda, baka po you can walk us through po kahit po very briefly kung paano po yung nagiging process at kung ako po ay isang interesadong negosyo, ano po yung mga dapat kong ihanda kung sakaling gusto kong magkaroon ng seal? Ma'am?
So to obtain green product certification or seal of approval from GCP, of course, there should be a interest. There should be an interest dito sa company na ito. So there are basic requirements na kailangan i-submit. We have the application forms, letter of intent, why are you interested, anong purpose, bakit gusto mong i-attain yung Green Choice Philippines certification. And then after receiving the requirements or submitting all your requirements, we will do our evaluation process. This evaluation process consists of 3 actually. The first is the initial evaluation. We have to check the validity of your permits and even how you operate, if it's legal or do you have the legal basis to operate. And the next one will do the sign. Dito na tayo gumagawa ng report or the assessment results. And then last is the notification of results wherein we will inform if you pass the criteria or you fail the criteria. In case you fail the criteria, we will provide recommendations for re-evaluation. And then we will then proceed to the approval of the GCP seal of approval.
Ma'am, ito pong listahan ng requirements. Pwede naman po itong makita sa website po, no?
Yes po. And also, we can provide naman din yung kung interesado po talaga, no, they can tap us for an exploratory meeting to further explain what is the process and kung ano mang cost nito, ano pang other eligibility requirements na kailangan para dito.
Alright. Thank you po, Ms. Brenda. Ma'am, may mga nagtatanong po kasi about the regulation of eco-labeling. Kumbaga, ito po bang National Eco-Labeling Program, Green Choice Philippines, na ito ba ay coordinated with the government side? Baka po gusto niyo pong mag-share po about sa kung paano po itong National Eco-Labeling Program para lang po mas malinawan sila kung sino pong mga government agencies yung nandito sa program po na ito.
Okay. So, kanina na-mention ko na ang eco-labeling is a voluntary. So, hindi siya minamandate dito sa country natin. But what we do is to really encourage the producers. And with the help of several government agencies na tumatayo bilang board members natin like DTI, especially CPG, the Consumer Protection Group. Also, we have DNR na nagsusupport din sa program. Given na nabanggit din po yung eco-labeling sa RA 9003. And we have DOE as well. From the private sector, we have Business for Sustainable Development. And other government agencies, we have DOST. Since majority nung ginagawa din natin dito is more on the technical aspect, like we have to know what criteria should we publish, anong criteria yung kailangang sundin ng mga producers when it comes to its environmental aspect. So ilan DOE, DOST, DTI, DNR. We also have representatives from Development Academy of the Philippines. So sila naman yung nakakatulong sa atin when it comes to the promotion and education of the consumers. Same goes with DTI. National Solid Waste Management Commission as well, and Procurement Service, Development, Budget and Management. So those are the part of the board members. But aside from that, there are other agencies or institutions na nakakatulong sa atin sa pagbuo ng criteria. So kailanganin natin ng tulong from the technical experts.
Thank you so much po, Ms. Brenda. Ngayon po, medyo marami na pong nagtatanong. Ano po ba yung fees or cost po kung ako po ay interesadong sumali sa National Ecolabelling Program?
Okay. So for the cost, siguro I cannot disclose like the specific but I have to tell the structure of how we put the price or the cost of the certification. So we based it on the annual sales of the product. Let's say I'm a company who wants to obtain Green Choice Philippines, a certification, then I have to declare my annual sales on the previous year. So that's 2023. And then this 2024 will look into the ranges. There are certain ranges of the fees, but the minimum is 10,000 for think lower than 5M sales. Yeah.
Thank you po, Ms. Brenda.
Of course, we can disclose it naman if you request for a meeting or if you request for the guidelines as well.
Ma'am, baka po, kasi may mga nagtatanong na po, baka po as early as now, meron po kayong ma-share na kahit email address na lang po dun sa mga interesado po para kung sakali, pwede po silang mag-send ng kanilang inquiry depende sa kung ano po yung pangangailangan nila regarding National Ecolabelling Program. Alright, thank you po, ma'am. Next naman po, ma'am, paano po nakaka-contribute ang eco-labels sa sustainability initiatives and environmental conservation effort?
Okay. This eco-label, of course, since sabi ko nga kanina, we are very much aligned with this Sustainable Development Goals, which is a responsible consumption and production. And at this point, when it comes to its sustainability, we are here to provide specific criteria. So this criteria can be your standards. This can be your standards. Apologies po kung may narinig kayo. So this one, again, for sustainability, we provide certain criteria or standards developed or evaluated by the technical committee member or members or even the approval of the board. So in this criteria, makikita natin how will it contribute to the environmental protection. Because we categorize the criteria into two. The first is the quality criteria because we want to ensure na hindi pa rin nako-compromise yung product natin, yung quality ng product natin just because dinagdagan natin ang environmental aspect. And this environmental aspect, we set an ambitious criteria to help producers to think of the future na hindi tayo nakasettle lang sa kung ano yung ni-require na sa batas, but we make it ambitious to make it more best practice ng mga company And let's say meron kami for tissue right now na calculating the carbon dioxide emissions. And through this, we can monitor kung meron ba talagang reduction ng carbon dioxide ang isang company. So may certain percentage tayong nilalagay or may certain number kung saan yun dapat yung i-reach or like the minimum standard na pwede nilang i-reach aside from the permits that we have. So dun po nakakatulong ang Rechoice Philippines or Ecolabels in practicing sustainability in the country. But currently, hindi pa natin naipasok yung social for our criteria. But during evaluation naman, tinitingnan natin ang mga permits, mga dollar reports nila when it comes to the safety, sa health pa din ng mga employees natin. Though dun sa criteria natin ngayon, hindi pa gaano na-incorporate the social criteria, but eventually, that's the plan actually.
Thank you po, ma'am. Next question naman po. Ini-encourage po natin yung ating participants na mag-raise hand po para directly po tayong makapagtanong. Pero kung hindi po tayo komportable, pwede pa rin pong isend sa ating chat box or di po kaya i-message nyo po yung mga participants para po masagot natin. Ayan, si Sir John. Sir, you're raising your hand po. You can unmute na po.
Yes. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thanks, Miss Lean, and hi, Ma'am Brenda. I just want to ask us. We noticed that most of the products that were certified or currently have seal under PCEPSDI or consumer products. But how about technological products, say boards or other mechanical products? Are these also within the scope of PCEPSDI?
Thank you, Sir John. Yes, we have criteria for technological products or even electronic products. We have desktop computers. I'll send here. Maybe, is it okay for me to share in our website?
Sure, ma'am.
For a while. So we have here available, sorry, for a while, sir. Okay, let me just share it. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the standards that we covered. Okay, so we have paper products, office supplies, we have electronic equipment. So as you can see, we have computer monitor, desktop computer, laptop, printers, photocopier, multifunction printing devices, facsimile machine, and refrigerators and freezers. So those are the available criteria for electronic equipment and electrical appliances, sir.
All right, thanks, ma'am.
Alright, thank you po, sir. May question pa po kayo?
Yeah, sorry, one more probably. For construction products, ma'am, it's also included, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, okay, thank you. That's it.
Alright, thank you, Sir John. Next po, si Sir Arman po may question. Is the certification applicable for a service company or a company like, for example, a school? Ma'am?
Okay, Sir Arman, currently, of course, we provide certification for services, but currently we don't have a criteria for, especially for the school services. What we have right now is for food service establishment and automotive service station. But of course, we have other means naman po on how we can create a criteria for that, for another option. That's a panel review process po. No? But yun nga po, currently, wala po tayo for the school.
Alright, thank you, ma'am. Dun po sa, yes, Sir Romel, you're raising your hand po. Kindly unmute na lang po.
Good morning, Ma'am Mayan.
Morning po.
Brenda. Ma'am, we were informed that the DOST is currently establishing a facility that would somehow determine the biodegradability of a particular product. No? So those local products that are claiming that they have biodegradable packaging or plastics, kasi usually they still have to send their products abroad to have that study, to determine if indeed uh, their claims is indeed correct. So with this project by DOST, um, we could lessen the cost of some of the manufacturers when it comes to biodegradable products. When it comes to the eco-labeling, ma'am, uh, with that project po ba of DOST, if it's become running na, would that also redound that perhaps we could lessen more the cost of eco-labeling for some manufacturers in the country? Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Sir Romel. Actually, I've heard about this facility na established po ni DOST. And malaking tulong po ito for the verification and validation of the criteria. So dun sa requirements natin, especially dun sa packaging, we have this biodegradability environmental criteria. And part of that is may specific test po na kailangang mag-undergo ang specific product like plastics po. And previously, ang mga nabibigay po sa ating requirements is from another country pa po. So malaking cost din yung inaabot for them to have a test result from another country dahil wala pa po dito sa Philippines. But now that it will be established in the Philippines, it's much easier po, no, to identify its biodegradability claims. And mas madali po ngayon yung access ng producers to eco-labeling as well dahil hindi na sila kailangan pang pumunta or magpadala ng samples sa ibang bansa dahil meron na tayo dito sa country. So for eco-labeling, malaking bagay po kung interested yung company to attain biodegradability claim under Green Choice Philippines, it's easier to access the testing facility. So basically, that is how this facility can help Ecolabel. But at the same time, mas madali po ito para sa producers kung interested man sila to apply for Green Choice Philippines.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Sir Romel, I hope Ms. Brenda was able to answer your question po.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next naman po, ma'am. Ayan. Siguro ito po ay galing sa businesses po na nanonood sa atin ngayon. What are the benefits and drawbacks of eco-labeling from a business perspective, ma'am?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Man. That's a really good question, no? Kasi until now, palaging yan din yung tanong din sa amin, what's the benefit? Voluntary naman ito, hindi naman ito mandatory, anong incentives makukuha natin. Of course, it's not like the laws, mga regulatory laws na there are penalties or what. But this benefit is we provide recognition. Since we are based on ISO 14024, you can be recognized under the Global Eco-Labeling Network that your product is GCP awarded. So that's one. You'll have a green market positioning in the country. Of course, you'll have a competitive advantage when it comes to green products. Kasi kayo nauuna, ilan pa lang naman itong mga produkto na meron tayo. Kumbaga, kayo yung nag-i-invite, parang pioneer. You are the one who's inspiring other businesses to shift to environmentally preferable products or to offer environmentally preferable services. So those are the areas. But and also we can assist products, especially for common use supplies. So for the government, we can assist to partner with governments in their green procurement campaigns or green public procurement campaigns. So pwede nating matulungan doon. But for incentives, we are waiting for the Green Jobs Act for that incentives. But currently, I think under discussion pa din ito. So yun po yung ilan sa mga benefits. You can be internationally recognized. You can empower the consumers. There could be a market transformation as well. And also, you can be part of the solution in attaining the sustainable consumption and production. So that's more on. And more on then, siguro share ko na lang din, ilan sa mga, especially developed countries, if you want to export products, they require certain labels. Na meron ba kayong ganitong eco-labels? And most of the companies na nag-apply din sa atin or interested is they want to export products, but the country na gusto nilang pagdalhan ng produkto nila, dapat may green GCP label or eco label. So currently, GCP pa lang naman yung nagpo-provide ng eco label.
Thank you, Ms. Brenda. Next naman po, ma'am, what are the potential environmental consequences of greenwashing?
For greenwashing, kanina na-open ko na din yun about negative consequences ng greenwashing, that it will result to unsustainable consumption. So imagine na, sabi ko nga, imagine if you are buying products and then hindi natin alam na there are activities or practices na it's a greenwashing na producers lang naman na nakakaalam or this particular company knows, and then wala tayong idea about it. We'll just say na, okay, sige, bilhin na lang natin. But the negative consequence is that it will result na dun sa mga nabanggit ko kanina, climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution in a bigger perspective. And tayo naman siguro as consumers, ayaw din naman natin na maling information yung nakakalap natin. Kumbaga parang fake news. And so, kung pagbili din, dapat alert din tayo when we look at our products. We don't just get that because we don't know, baka yun palang papel. Let's say, bumili tayo ng papel, office supplies. Hindi natin alam, galing pala dun sa unsustainably managed forest. Possibly illegal logging yung ginawa just to have paper out of trees. Yun. So, that's a bigger perspective, but for more on ang impact kasi niyan is sa atin din and how we will drive the producers to transition to a more sustainable products.
Okay. Thank you po, ma'am. Sa mga gusto pa pong magtanong, just click the raise hand button lang po, no? It's already 11:26. Meron po tayo dito dalawa pang question. Ma'am, yung next question po, how can we consumers distinguish kung legitimate daw po yung eco-friendly products or label? Paano po namin nalaman kung ito po ba ay sumunod po standard or legitimate po ba tong eco-label na to? Ma'am?
Yes. Okay, that's a really nice question. For this one, for us to know if it's legitimate, it's important. That's why merong mga websites talaga ang iba't ibang eco-labels because it's a guide talaga to the consumers. So we have a section in our website wherein you can check the GCP awarded products. So nandun lahat ng mga produkto na pwede niyong tingnan, and then if there's a label, so that's if nandun yung product na yon, then it's certified products or legitimate GCP certified products. But just in case yung minention ko kanina, let's say, pagtingin natin dun sa website or portal or database ng isang company, database ng isang institution na nag-award, and then wala yung produkto na yon, then you can directly report it but meron silang label, let's say sa packaging, you can directly report it to yun sa dito sa email na sinend ko po kanina, which is greenchoicephilippines@pcepsdi.org.ph. So it's very important to do our part as a researcher din. Hindi lang tayo parang consumer na hindi natin gagawin yung part to know and to be informed.
Thank you po, ma'am. Next question na po, ito po yung last. How can we, consumers daw po, help promote or support the National Ecolabelling Program?
Okay. So in order for you to, of course, support and promote the National Ecolabelling Program, kasi yun din naman yung gusto natin, no, na mas maipaalam sa nakakarami yung advokasya ng eco-labels. So one is, of course, you start with yourself to identify which product is more environmentally. So you just compare products. Alin ang dapat kong bilhin? Do I look into just the price alone or the quality alone? So now, meron na kayong other consideration na kailangan tingnan, that's the environmental aspect. And then to be able to promote it, it's a good thing to make it more visible digitally now that it's being the talk of the town about the environment or the sustainability. You can share your what are you planning to fight greenwashing. That's why is it okay for me to share a little bit?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead po.
I have a question at what is something that you can do to fight. And as a consumer, I encourage you po to tag us in your post and use the hashtag #GreenChoicePhilippines, act responsible, think sustainable. And you can just share how can you really fight greenwashing, or enough na ba na may information kayo, or you wanted to share it to your friends. So just tag us in your post, and malaking tulong po ito to promote Green Choice Philippines and as well as their products. And last siguro na I would like to share in order for us to promote is for us to really rethink our choices in buying, in purchasing products. So wala namang masama na pag-isipang mabuti kung anong dapat bilhin. But of course, we cannot neglect the fact na when we compare conventional product to a green product, it's a little bit expensive compared to the conventional product. But when we think of the savings, environmental savings na magkakaroon if we purchase a sustainable product, and then so mas makikita natin na we are helping the environment po talaga. So rethink our purchasing habits. That's a good point po.
Right.
If you're interested, if you have the means, everyone here in the Zoom and even Facebook, tag us in your post. And I've mentioned na ito yung pwede nating, you can scan this Green Choice Philippines para maka-access kayo dun sa FB page.
Alright. Thank you po, Miss Brenda. Maraming salamat po sa mga nagtanong. At salamat po, Miss Brenda, sa pagsagot po sa mga tanong. We hope na marami pong natutunan ng ating participants. Before we close this session po, may we request po for a short message. Baka po may gusto din po kayong i-share at yung contact details po ng PCEPSDI kung sakali pong may karagdagang mga tanong pa po yung participants and interested parties. Ma'am?
Okay, sige po. I-present ko lang din since may nagtatanong din po regarding the email. So if you are interested to know more about the Green Choice Philippines, kung ano ang mga products, paano mag-apply, anong pwedeng magawa, you can just stop us. You can visit our office in at 3F Asian Pacific Corporate Center Building, 26 Harvard Street, Barangay Socorro, Cubao, Quezon City. And you can visit our website, pcepsdi.org.ph. And if you have queries, you can email us at greenchoicephilippines@pcepsdi.org.ph, or you can just call us at 0270043908. And you can just visit our Facebook page, Facebook of PCEPSDI and Green Choice Philippines. So thank you. This is really an important session for us to be able to share what is eco-labeling and how the eco-labels address greenwashing. And I hope hindi lang nagtatapos dito sa webinar na ito yung mga napag-usapan natin. I hope you share it to your friends, your colleagues, and also to let others be informed as well. Na hindi lang sa akin manggagaling, but sa inyo din, because you have the means, you have options to look for Green Choice Philippines and its GCP awarded products. So again, ulitin ko lang na this is not only about Green Choice Philippines. There are other environmental labels all over the world that you can support, and you can check general Global Eco-Labeling Network or GEN. Nandun yung mga iba't iba ding mga countries na nagpa-participate for this eco-labeling campaigns and greenwashing campaigns as well. So thank you so much, DTI, for inviting not me, but the organization, the Philippine Center for Environmental Protection and Sustainable Development, incorporated in this really fruitful and insightful webinar session. I hope this won't be the last, because I believe people are getting more and more aware about this topic, especially greenwashing, I would say, and hopefully eco-labeling in the country will be one of the options for the consumers to take a look in fighting greenwashing. Again, thank you so much po.
Alright, salamat po, Ms. Brenda. Thank you po to Philippine Center for Environmental Protection and Sustainable Development, Inc., or PCEPSDI. Ulitin ko lang po, it is really, sorry po, medyo maingay. It is really important for us po, consumers, to always exercise our right to information. Karapatan po nating mabigyan ng impormasyon at detalye para po makagawa tayo ng informed choices. It is also important for us po na laging isipin yung responsibility natin to be more alert and questioning sa mga goods and services po na ginagamit natin at binibili natin, at yung responsibilidad po natin na maintindihan yung environmental consequences ng ating consumption. Again, rethink our choices and always check the label. Before we close this session po, we would like to invite everyone po na tumutok sa consumer at iba pa. Tuwing Sabado po yan, 8:30 ng umaga sa Super Radio DZBB, Double B TV sa GTV, at sa Consumer at iba pa Facebook live stream. So this is to formally close our webinar po for today. Muli, maraming salamat po sa ating very capable speaker, the Program Officer of Green Choice Philippines from the Philippine Center for Environmental Protection and Sustainable Development, Inc., or PCEPSDI, Ms. Brenda Hazel Botardo. Ms. Brenda, maraming salamat po. At mula po sa Consumer Protection Group, salamat po sa ating participants na nakasama natin ngayong umaga. Huwag niyo pong kalimutang samahan kaming muli sa aming mga susunod na webinars. Our announcements po will be posted in our social media accounts. For more updates po, please like, follow, and subscribe our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube accounts. DTI Consumer Care, DTI 1384, and DTI Philippines. Also, kindly accomplish po and submit the survey form para makakuha din po kayo ng link para makapag-download ng presentation na ginamit ngayong umaga. Thank you so much, everyone, and stay safe.
para sa ating mamamayang Pilipino. Para iwas daya, dapat wais at alisto. Mainam maging mapagmatsyag at mapanuri tayo. Palakasin ang boses ng ating mga konsumer. Dapat tama bawat presyo at serbisyo. Produktong pasado, lalo ang mga pangunahing bilihin. Ang kalidad ng mga produkto at serbisyo ay pangalagaan ng lahat, tayo ay panalo. Layunin ng DTI ito.
Ipatupad price at 7581, Consumer Act 7394, Product Standard 4109, for Consumer Care at iba pa, tayang 1384.
Ipalaganap karapatan at tungkulin. Kaalamang tama sa consumer ibahagi. Tulay sa kaunlaran, kalakalan ay palakasin. Ito ang pagbabago para sa ikabubuti natin. Dapat tapat bawat presyo at serbisyo. Produktong pasado, lalo ang mga pangunahing bilihin. Ang kalidad ng mga produkto at serbisyo ay pangalagaan ng lahat, tayo ay panalo. Layunin ng DTI ito.
Ipatupad price at 7581, Consumer Act 7394, Product Standard 4109, for Consumer Care at iba pa, tayang 1384.
Dapat tama, dapat tapat, mula sa DTI ito.